Ladies and gentlemen, there exists a quiet yet profound power in a woman chosen by the heavens. Not by wealth nor by status does she stand apart, but by the radiance of her spirit, the depth of her resilience, and the unwavering faith that carries her through life's tempests. Let us explore the unmistakable signs that set such a woman apart. A woman upon whom divine favor rests. A woman favored by God carries within her an undeniable grace, an essence that speaks before she utters a word. This grace is not a performance, nor is it something borrowed from the world. It is an inheritance of the soul, a quiet yet commanding presence that reveals itself in the way she moves through life. She does not demand attention, yet she respected. There is something about her that is both unshaken and unshakable. This grace is evident in her posture, not merely the way she stands, but the way she stands firm in the face of adversity. She walks as though she knows she is being watched over. She does not crumble under the weight of others' opinions, nor does she allow the turbulence of life to dictate her worth. She understands that favor does not always mean ease. In fact, it often means endurance. Yet she wears this endurance lightly, never allowing burdens to strip her of her poise. Her words carry weight, not because they are loud, but because they are measured, intentional, and laced with wisdom. She listens more than she speaks, for she knows that true power lies not in domination, but in understanding. She does not waste her breath on gossip, nor does she seek to elevate herself by diminishing others. She knows that her worth is not a currency to be bargained with. It is established, fixed, unmovable. There is a stillness in her, an inner composure that remains even when the world around her is in disarray. This does not mean she is without emotion, nor does it mean she is without struggle. Rather, it means she does not allow external chaos to shake the foundation of her being. She does not panic easily, for she knows who holds her future. She does not retaliate with anger when wronged, for she understands that justice is not always hers to deliver. Her presence brings a certain peace to those around her. People find themselves drawn to her, not for what she can offer, but for the way she makes them feel. Seen, heard, valued. She does not need to prove her importance. It is felt. She does not need to demand respect. It is given. She moves with purpose, not haste. She knows that everything that is meant for her will come in its appointed time. So she does not force what is not ready, nor does she beg for what is beneath her. She waits, not passively, but with expectation, knowing that favor is not rushed, it unfolds. She understands that her grace is not her own doing. It is a gift, a divine imprint upon her soul, a mark of the one who walks with her. She carries herself with this knowledge, not with arrogance, but with quiet confidence. And in this confidence, she is unstoppable. A woman favored by God does not crumble under the weight of trials. She rises through them. Hardship is not a sign of abandonment, but a sign of refinement. She understands that the fire is not meant to consume her, but to purify her, to shape her into something greater than before. While others may question why they must endure suffering, she knows that every struggle carries within it a lesson, a purpose, a transformation waiting to unfold. She does not ask, "Why me?" but rather, "What is this teaching me?" In this she discovers strength that even she did not know she possessed. She does not allow pain to turn her bitter, nor does she permit disappointment to make her cynical. Instead, she takes each hardship and turns it into wisdom. She understands that favor does not mean an easy life. It means a life with meaning, a life where even suffering is not wasted. When the world expects her to break, she bends but does not snap. She weathers the storms not because she is unaffected by them, but because she is deeply rooted. Her foundation is not in fleeting things, not in wealth, not in status, not in the approval of others. It is in something unshakable, something eternal. So even when everything around her shifts, she remains steadfast. People may look at her and wonder how she keeps going after all she has endured. They may see her smile and never guess the battles she has fought in silence. But she knows. She knows that the scars she carries are not marks of defeat, but proof of survival. Each one tells a story, not of brokenness, but of resilience. She has been through fire, yet she does not smell of smoke. Her strength is not loud. It does not demand recognition. It is steady, unwavering. Built in the quiet moments of prayer, in the nights when no one saw her tears, in the mornings when she chose to rise again despite the weight of yesterday. She is not fragile, though the world may mistake her gentleness for weakness. She is steel wrapped in grace, unyielding in faith, relentless in hope. She does not carry a heart hardened by betrayal, nor does she let past wounds close her off from love. She forgives, not because it is easy, but because she refuses to let bitterness take root. She moves forward, not because she forgets, but because she refuses to be defined by what tried to break her. She refuses to live in the shadow of pain when she was created to stand in the light. She understands that her trials are not a sign of divine displeasure, but of divine preparation. She knows that what was meant to destroy her is instead building her, and so she walks forward, not unscathed, but undefeated. Not without wounds, but without fear. And that is the mark of a woman who is truly favored. A woman favored by God carries compassion as a natural extension of who she is. Her kindness is not selective, reserved only for those who can repay her or those she deems worthy. It is woven into the fabric of her being, a reflection of the divine love she has received. She understands that favor is not just about being blessed, it is about being a blessing. She does not withhold goodness, for she knows that true abundance comes not from hoarding, but from giving. She moves through life with a heart open to the needs of others. She sees beyond the surface, beyond what people present to the world. While others may judge, she seeks to understand. While others may turn away, she steps forward. Her presence is a source of comfort, a reminder that there is still gentleness in a world that can often be harsh. She does not need to announce her kindness, it is evident in her actions. Her service is not driven by recognition. She does not do good to be seen or praised. She helps because she cannot do otherwise. Her spirit is drawn to healing, to lifting, to restoring. If she has little, she still finds a way to share. If she has much, she gives freely, knowing that generosity does not diminish her, it multiplies. She knows that true wealth is measured not in what she has, but in what she gives, even when it is not easy. She understands that holding on to resentment is a weight she is not meant to carry. This does not mean she allows herself to be used or mistreated. Rather, it means she chooses to release bitterness and walk in peace. She values her own well-being enough to let go of what does not serve her soul. She knows that forgiveness is not weakness, but strength. It is a reflection of the grace she herself has received. Her compassion does not make her naive. She is not blind to the realities of life, nor does she allow others to take advantage of her kindness. She has learned that love sometimes means setting boundaries, that helping others does not mean losing herself. She serves from a place of strength, not exhaustion. She understands that she cannot pour into others if she has nothing left to give. She does not compare her journey to anyone else's. She does not see the success of others as a threat to her own. Instead, she celebrates with them, knowing that what is meant for her will never pass her by. She uplifts rather than competes. She understands that favor is not a race, it is a divine appointment. She loves, not just in words, but in action. Her love is not fleeting, not dependent on circumstances, it is steadfast, a reflection of the divine love that flows through her. And in this, she shines. Not with the kind of brightness that demands attention, but with the quiet radiance of a soul truly at peace. A woman favored by God possesses a peace that cannot be explained by logic or circumstance. It is not the absence of struggle, nor is it a life untouched by pain. Rather, it is the ability to remain steady even when everything around her is shifting. She understands that peace is not something given by the world, and therefore it is not something the world can take away. It is an inner stillness, a deep knowing that she is held, guided, and protected, even in moments of uncertainty. This peace is not born out of ignorance, nor is it a denial of reality. She sees the challenges, she acknowledges the storms, yet she does not allow them to dictate her emotions. While others may be consumed by worry, she chooses to trust. This does not mean she never has moments of doubt or fear. She is human, but she refuses to let those feelings control her decisions. She has learned that true wisdom comes not from reacting to every situation, but from responding with patience and discernment. She does not rush into decisions out of desperation. She understands that not every opportunity is meant for her, and not every closed door is a rejection. Because of this, she waits, not passively, but with quiet confidence. She does not force what is not meant to be, nor does she chase after things that are not aligned with her purpose. She has faith that what is truly hers will come in its time. This peace extends beyond her own heart. It radiates into the lives of those around her. She does not add to the noise of the world. She brings calm to it. When others are overwhelmed, she speaks words of reassurance. When conflicts arise, she does not fuel division, but seeks understanding. She does not entertain unnecessary drama or chaos, because she knows her energy is too valuable to be wasted on things that do not serve her spirit. She has mastered the art of letting go. She does not hold on to past mistakes, nor does she carry the weight of regrets. She knows that everything in her life, even the painful moments, has served a purpose. She forgives herself as freely as she forgives others, because she knows that peace cannot coexist with guilt and resentment. She chooses to release what no longer serves her, making room for what is meant to come. She does not allow the opinions of others to disturb her inner stillness. She understands that people will misunderstand her, that not everyone will support her journey, and that sometimes walking in favor means walking alone. Yet she does not seek validation from the world. She is content in the knowledge that she is following the path set for her. Her peace is rooted in something greater than herself. It is not temporary, not dependent on circumstances, not shaken by life's unpredictability. It is a peace that surpasses understanding, a quiet strength that carries her through whatever may come. And in that, she is truly unshakable. A woman favored by God walks in faith, not by what she sees, but by what she knows deep within her soul. Her trust is not in the fleeting promises of the world, nor in the temporary securities that others cling to. Instead, she places her confidence in something greater, something eternal. She understands that faith is not about having all the answers, but about believing in the unseen, about moving forward even when the path ahead is unclear. Her faith is not fragile. It is not shaken by delays, nor is it diminished by difficulties. She has learned that sometimes waiting is a part of the process. She does not despair when things do not happen on her timeline, because she knows that what is meant for her cannot be rushed, nor can it be stolen. She does not fight against divine timing. She aligns herself with it. This faith allows her to step out of her comfort zone. She does not need to have all the details before she moves. She only needs to know that she is being led. While others hesitate, waiting for certainty, she moves with conviction, knowing that every step taken in faith is a step towards something greater. She embraces the unknown, not because she is fearless, but because she refuses to let fear dictate her life. Her faith gives her the strength to endure. When she faces obstacles, she does not see them as reasons to quit, but as opportunities to grow. She understands that favor does not exempt her from trials. Rather, it equips her to overcome them. She does not let setbacks discourage her, nor does she allow disappointment to steal her hope. Instead, she presses on, knowing that every challenge is refining her, preparing her for what is ahead. She speaks life into her circumstances. She does not dwell on negativity, nor does she allow doubt to take root in her mind. Instead, she declares victory even before she sees it. She prays with expectation, not merely asking but believing. She does not allow her words to betray her faith. She speaks as if the breakthrough has already come, as if the doors have already been opened. Because in her heart, she knows they will be. Her faith is her foundation. It is not something she turns to only in moments of crisis. It is the very essence of how she lives. She does not rely on her own strength alone. She draws from a well that never runs dry. She knows that she is never truly alone, never without guidance, never without provision. Even in her weakest moments, she finds strength, not because she has it within herself, but because she knows where to turn. Her faith is unwavering. It does not rise and fall with circumstances. nor does it depend on whether or not things go according to her plans. She walks forward, not because she has seen the destination, but because she trusts the journey. She knows that she is being led by divine hands, and that knowledge alone is enough to keep her moving forward. A woman favored by God carries wisdom that is not just the result of experience, but a gift of discernment. She sees beyond what is visible, beyond what is spoken, and beyond what is presented. She understands that true wisdom is not about knowing everything, but about knowing what truly matters. She does not speak just to be heard, nor does she rush to offer opinions without thought. Instead, she listens, observes, and seeks understanding before responding. Her wisdom is evident in the way she makes decisions. She does not act impulsively, nor does she allow emotions to control her choices. She takes time to reflect, to weigh the consequences, and to seek clarity before she moves. She understands that not every opportunity is a blessing, and not every open door is meant for her to walk through. She prays for guidance, trusting that she will be led in the right direction. She knows the power of silence. She does not waste words on arguments that do not serve her purpose, nor does she engage in meaningless debates. She understands that wisdom is not about proving oneself, but about knowing when to speak and when to remain still. She chooses her battles carefully, investing her energy only in things that align with her purpose. Her relationships reflect her wisdom. She surrounds herself with people who uplift, inspire, and challenge her to grow. She does not entertain toxic connections or allow negativity to drain her spirit. She understands that the company she keeps influences her path, and so she chooses wisely. She does not seek validation from the wrong places, for she knows her worth is not determined by the opinions of others. She has mastered the art of discernment. She can sense when something is not right, even when there are no obvious signs. She trusts her intuition, knowing that it is often the quiet voice of divine wisdom guiding her away from harm. She does not ignore the red flags, nor does she allow herself to be deceived by empty promises. She has learned that wisdom is not just about knowledge, but about applying that knowledge to protect her peace. She does not react to everything that comes her way. She understands that some things do not require a response, and some situations are best left unanswered. She chooses peace over unnecessary conflict and grace over pride. She is not easily provoked because she knows that reacting out of anger or frustration only gives power to things that do not deserve it. Her wisdom is rooted in humility. She does not claim to know everything, nor does she look down on those who are still learning. She understands that wisdom is a lifelong journey, and she remains open to growth. She seeks counsel when needed, learning from those who have walked the path before her. She is not arrogant in her knowledge, but confident in her understanding. And in this quiet confidence, she stands firm, unshaken, unwavering, and favored. A woman favored by God carries a heart of gratitude that transforms the way she sees the world. She does not focus on what she lacks, nor does she dwell on what has not yet come to pass. Instead, she finds joy in the present, in the blessings that others may overlook. She understands that gratitude is not just an emotion, but a way of life, a perspective that allows her to see beauty even in the simplest moments. She does not wait for everything to be perfect before she gives thanks. She knows that if she cannot be grateful for what she has now, she will not truly appreciate what is to come. She refuses to live in a state of constant dissatisfaction, always chasing the next thing, always looking ahead, but never appreciating the present. She understands that joy is not found in having more, but in recognizing the value of what is already hers. Her gratitude is not dependent on circumstances. She does not only give thanks when things are going well, but also when she is facing trials. She knows that even in difficulty, there is something to be learned, something to be gained. She chooses to see challenges as opportunities for growth, as stepping stones rather than obstacles. She trusts that everything in her life, both the good and the painful, is shaping her into who she is meant to be. She does not compare her journey to that of others. She does not look at someone else's success and feel envy, nor does she measure her worth against the achievements of others. Instead, she celebrates what she has been given, knowing that her path is unique. She trusts that she is exactly where she needs to be and that her own blessings will arrive in their time. She believes that favor is not about competing, but about fulfilling one's own purpose. Her gratitude extends beyond words. It is reflected in her actions. She is generous not just with her resources, but with her kindness, her time, and her love. She does not hoard what she has been given, she shares freely, knowing that a grateful heart is a giving heart. She understands that abundance is not about accumulation, but about circulation, about using what she has to uplift and bless others. She finds contentment in every season. When she has much, she is thankful. When she has little, she is still thankful, knowing that her worth is not tied to material possessions. She does not live with a spirit of lack, nor does she dwell on what is missing. She focuses on what is present, on what is good, on what is already in her hands. Her gratitude is an act of faith. She thanks not only for what she has received, but also for what is yet to come. She knows that her future is secure, that her path is guided, and that she is deeply, abundantly, and undeniably favored. A woman favored by God is not defined by external measures of success, nor is her worth determined by fleeting circumstances. She is set apart, not by wealth, status, or recognition, but by the depth of her character, the strength of her faith, and the light she carries within her. She is resilient in trials, compassionate in her actions, unshakable in peace, unwavering in faith, discerning in wisdom, grateful in all things, and guided by a purpose greater than herself. Her journey is not without struggle, but she does not see hardship as a sign of weakness. She sees it as refinement. She understands that the favor upon her life is not about avoiding challenges, but about overcoming them with grace and wisdom. She does not shrink in the face of adversity, nor does she allow the storms of life to diminish her spirit. Instead, she rises, stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. She moves with quiet confidence, knowing that her steps are ordered, her path is purposeful, and her presence carries impact. She does not chase validation, for she knows that her worth has already been established. She does not seek permission to shine, for she was created to radiate light. She does not fear the unknown, for she walks in faith, trusting that she is always being led towards something greater. She continues forward, not perfect, but purposeful, not without struggles, but without fear, not seeking the favor of the world, but walking in the divine favor that has always been hers. She is a woman who does not just exist. She inspires, uplifts, and leaves a legacy that will endure long after she is gone. For she is not just any woman. She is a woman favored by God.